We are at Marin RV Park, which is in San Francisco, California area. We're going to give you a drive-through, show you a little bit about the park, show you the Golden Gate Bridge, some of downtown San Francisco, Alcatraz, a couple shots of that, a couple little things that you can see within the city. But more importantly, if you're wanting to travel to this area, I'll tell you how far it is and show you the park itself so you know what to expect when you get here. Okay, as you pull up here, Marin RV Park. Here's the entrance, the office. We got a laundromat. As you pull in, you stop right here next to the office. They've got a small pool, real small pool, but it is a pool and it is heated. Your trash is gonna be right there behind the office. As you pull through, you can see these sites are all really tight. There's about 100 sites in a really small area. So they're just jam-packed in, real close together. They do have a dog park. It's not much of a dog park, but it is a spot to bring your dog, let them run around just a little bit. Now take notice of these job type trailers where there's several people staying in one trailer. They'll usually have a community bathroom in those. Those are going to be pretty loud. So far we've seen at night, it's been pretty loud at night because we were staying right behind one of them. As you go through here, you see all kinds of campers, old buses converted, Class C's, Class A's, all kinds of stuff. So where we are in J11. J11, as of right now, is backed up to several of those job trailers, so it gets pretty loud at night. Now let me bring you around, I'll show you the laundromat and the dog area. Okay, laundry is a pretty big area. A lot of the RV parks, you'll only have 3 to 6 washer and dryers. You have more than that here, and you do have the double and triple size washers. So if you want to wash your comforter in those big loads. Up in the dog area right now, if you look down, the last building on the left is the office. We just came through this loop right here. Highway 101 is in the background. So this is the entrance to the dog area. You have a dog receptacle right here. And then you can see where the shed is. That's the end of the RV park. But you can go all the way down to the other end where you see somebody walking their dog. That is part of the mobile home park area, but you can walk from there down to this fence that keeps you from going on the old railroad bridge. This wraps up the RV part of the video. Let's move on to a little bit more of the bridge and a couple things to see in San Francisco. Again, this RV park, it's a place about 10 minutes from the Golden Gate Bridge, brings you right into San Francisco from there. It's right off the Highway 101. Nothing fancy about it. It's a nice place as far as it's clean, it's organized, nice people in the office. You get a good Sam discount. It's about $100 a night stay here, full hookups. Again, fairly close to the city, but it's nothing extravagant. No fishing, no pond, no creek, no bar, no big swimming pool, no playground, no fancy dog park. No fancy landscaping. It's just an RV park with full hookups that's close to San Francisco and nice people and a laundromat. So, all right, let's move on, show you the rest of the, we'll show you a little bit of the bridge and some of San Francisco.
Okay, in this beautiful overlook, the Golden Gate overlook is about 10 minutes from our campground. You can see it's a cloudy, foggy day.
This is Hawk Hill. If you set your GPS here, when you come to the roundabout, you'll be taking the first exit. You could shoot up to the top of this hill and look out over a higher vantage point. Then you can come back down the hill and take the exit coming down here, which is the standard overlook. But if you come right to the overlook to begin with, this is a one-way road, and you cannot turn around and make your way back up without having to go all the way down and come back. And this is the old battery area from the late 1800s. So looking back over there is that Hawk Hill, which is also the Nike missile area. In the 1950s, 60s, and closed in the 70s, there's missiles to protect us during the Cold War. As you're up here, take notice if you look to the left, you'll be looking at Alcatraz. You'll be coming down this and finding a spot to park on this right side. as you enter the battery area, which is going to be your best overlook. And if you wanted to check out the opening scene for Full House, where they show them picnicking, and this row of houses, kind of a famous row, is called the Painted Ladies. Kind of reminds you of the Painted Row in South Carolina. And about a 5-minute drive down past the Painted Ladies on the same road, which is Steiner, you can see where Robin Williams filmed The Stoutfire. Check out Lombard Street, just because it's so crooked. This street was originally straight with a 27% grade and cobblestone. It was changed over in the 1920s so automobiles could actually travel up and down the street and give it better appeal. Definitely one of a kind, really cool looking with all the landscaping. There are cops at the top and the bottom directing traffic. And here's Filbert Street, which is supposed to be the steepest street, depending on which article you read, between 30 and 40% grade. There's actually stairs to go up the street, you can see. To get perspective, the phone is level right now. Imagine what kind of door dings people get. I don't think this is the steepest street. Oh, you know what it is? Let's get this grade right here. Well, I can't stop now. This one spot. This is the one. This is the steepest spot in San Francisco. And if you want some outstanding pizza, if you're up at North Beach, stop at Golden Boy Pizza. And now for even a little bit better tasting pizza, more of a New York style, you got Tony's Pizza right here. This place is right across from Washington Square, and it was voted #2 in the United States in 2022. This tower right here above the city, $10 a person to go up it, no elevator. Gets you above these trees so you can see out here to the water, to the bridges, but you can also see out pretty well once you just get to this bottom floor, and it's pretty much above the trees, and there's no fee for that access. The view that you see from the first floor. Okay, so we made it over to Alcatraz landing. This is Pier 33 right next to me. So when you get tickets to Alcatraz, come to the side of Pier 33, and you go back and you'll catch this ferry right behind us. Now there's some street vendors out here. Got some good hot dogs over here. Now, like any good street vendor, they negotiated about 20%. Public parking, you can pay right across the street in an open parking lot. It costs you about $20 to park. $20, I think it was an hour. We parked in a parking garage. The garage is $5 an hour, $27 max for 24 hours. So that is pretty much directly across the street. Make sure you have plenty of time. Takes a little bit to get through the traffic. Your tickets that say they start at, ours start at a specific time. We didn't know if that was the island or at the ferry. Those ticket times actually start at the ferry itself. So be at the ferry about 30 minutes early. All right, check it out. Gate. Get yourself a fishing tour out here. You can see Alcatraz while you're out there. So that arrow's pointing to the apartments. That's where the families lived, or the guards. That little arrow that just popped up, that's pointing to the original Sally Port. Now we're walking through the Sally Port area, which is the oldest structure that is supposed to be on the island. As you walk up there, you see this officers' quarters, that rundown old building. Penitentiary residence and apartments, 1930s through 60s. Quite a bit of walking to get to the top. That building right there is the top side of the apartment buildings. You can take this if you have some kind of physical disability. There is officers' quarters. Let's see, those are over here. And apartments, so the guards' families could live here with them. To give you an idea how close the apartment was to the jail. And here's a little history of the water tower if you want to read a little bit about the American Indians. So you had the morgue from 1910 to 1963 inside this building. We're at the top getting the audio tour. So one of the first things you see as the prisoners would have been coming in, the fresh fish, would have been coming in here to be issued a first a body search. Then they had a big public shower. Looks like you could strip down naked and shower in front of everybody and come over and get your clothes. Your Alcatraz blues. And the actual audio tour starts here. And these officers are the ones who will be narrating the audio tour you listen to as you make your way through Alcatraz. Take a right here at the cutoff, make your way to the other cell block. Looks like these cells were about 4.5 feet wide, maybe 8 feet long. Not much room to work out in there. So we just came through that cutoff, and this would have been where the prisoners went when they first came in. Walked down through here to find their cell. See a little manual on how you're supposed to keep your cell. You were issued cigarettes 3 times a week, whether you smoked or not. And this strip right here was called Broadway. Ironically, you have Times Square. So you leave Broadway, and you come over here to the recreation yard, 2.5 hours on a Saturday and Sunday. Sounds like a pretty laid back place to me. Hang out, check out the Golden Gate Bridge, get your tan on, play some sports, kick back, relax. Standing out here at home plate out in the recreation area where Machine Gun Kelly and Al Capone played some baseball. Protect the plate. And as you walk out, oh, excuse me.
Hey, I'm walking here.
Oh, these people around here. I'll tell you what. So we come outside. Let's look around again. Now that area right there is where the factory was, where some of the workers actually got to go during the day. So here in D Block, this is where the worst prisoners went. They were in here 24 hours a day, let out for about an hour a week. But they did have the biggest cells. So the tour is given by the former guards, the auto tour. They said that Machine Gun Kelly and Capone were actually really nice guys. Some of the stories of why guys went to the cell included getting coffee from the wrong spigot, or not going out of the kitchen in time, or letting people cut in line in front of them on purpose to be nice, despite the guard telling them not to. Now you make your way to the prison library. Now they say that the New Year's Eve, if the wind blew just right, you could hear people out in the Bay Area, the yacht club. Give them a sense of normal life. Make your way to the end of the block and you head to your visitor center. Give you an idea if you're on these upper levels looking out of those windows. Right behind you was A, B, and C block. Here's where a couple guys made some dummy heads, packed in their beds, and escaped after spending time digging them out, digging these holes with spoons. Now that escape, they were right where those people were looking in. They ducked to that wall with a spoon, came back here to the utility corridor. So now we're back to Broadway. Here's the cutoff we came through just a minute ago. Heading back towards Times Square. Okay, at the end of Broadway, Times Square, recreation area, heading into the dining hall. 20-minute meals 3 times a day. So now as you're in the dining room, look around. They said this is the most dangerous place because there's 200 inmates in here with knives, forks, and spoons for 20 minutes at a time. They had tear gas set up in here that never actually dispersed, but it was ready. As far as food, said the food was pretty good. And the knives were outlined in case any of them went missing, the guards could tell. Yeah, we'll turn around, go back across the dining room, back down Broadway, and come out in the administration side. Public side of the visitation area. So as you walk into the administration building, the lighthouse behind you, the visitation would have been straight up here on the left. You can see the control room, visitation up there on the left. Armory and the vault. You'd make your way over here to the warden's office. Warden had a fireplace. They had a view out here looking out at the bay. And his house was actually right here on the point. This was the warden's home. Right next to the bathroom. Here's the warden, had a pretty nice view from his quarters. And here on the balcony of his office, this is looking down on the officers' quarters and the apartments. Earliest picture of the island. Looking down from the warden's house and the lighthouse, you can see San Francisco in the background. These 2 areas down here used to be apartments. And this area was known for kids playing. They could ride their bikes, play ball, views of the city in the background. That was if it wasn't a weekday while they were taking boats across to the city for school. And while we were there, we got to see Bill Baker. He was one of the inmates here at Alcatraz. He served time, wrote a book about it. Now he's just hangs out, tells people stories, signs his book, and rolls in and out as he pleases. Alcatraz. Check out that fucker. So this is the lighthouse behind us. It's on the point of the island. This is one of the first lighthouses on the west coast. Over there to the left up is the warden's mansion. That was actually the commander's mansion that was built in military days. Wardens took that over when it became the federal prison. See San Francisco in the background? And this about wraps up our trip here to Alcatraz, our visit to the San Francisco area. Check out some of the other videos. Remember, life is building you, it's not breaking you. It is, you gotta write your own ending. Don't let anxiety rule your life. So travel around, see some more stuff. You wanna follow more of what we're doing, you wanna see some more about our travels. We're heading up the West Coast now. We're gonna head up all the way to Oregon, and we're in Colorado. Check out Durango, Silverton, and the old steam train. All right, thanks for watching.